All right, so good evening. We have shifted our mentorship evening sessions to Wednesdays, 22nd of Jan 2020. From this week, we'll be conducting our three live sessions, well spread between Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that gives us a well spaced out time for our live classes, interactions, and doubt clearing. New mentorship traders, so welcome to the community. You wouldn't know, but the first few minutes of every Wednesdays, or I would say evening sessions, we take up Nifty, Bank Nifty. And from today, towards the end, I will talk about the list of stocks that you can look for intraday trades for tomorrow, following our gold digger strategy. All right. But before that, let's talk about the markets first. So what we have here is the Nifty, and this is the weekly chart of Nifty over here. And this blue channel is still alive, still kicking. In terms of candlestick charts, we can see it's a big engulfing. In fact, it's as long as close to a three-line strike kind of a pattern. Too much bearishness is not actually a sign of bearishness, but having said that, it's quite a bit of selling this week so far. And if you recall, we have kept this yellowish channel from where the market had broken out before. Now, channel breakouts, if they come down, are likely to test this level. So it's 12,000 on a psychological level for the Nifty from the medium-term charts. One look at the daily chart, and if I replace it properly, well, we have this bluish rising channel, and the index reacted exactly from the high of our channel, and now in 3 days it's down to the bottom of this channel. In fact, the go-to meeting now will allow me to, I think, show some drawings over here which will help us in our session. So channel top, and now it's back to the channel bottom. Now, if this continues this way, if this has to continue this way, that is the selling, and a break below this channel will obviously bring the market attention to this low and this low. And between these two lows, of course, we will be putting in a lot more attention to this low, which is a little above that 11,800, because it is a well-tested support erstwhile. So the markets have sold off from channel top back to channel bottom. The momentum on the downside is pretty high. A breakdown is likely. One should not be discounting that. And if that happens, then we should be looking forward towards a retest of erstwhile lows. And between these, amongst these erstwhile lows, this level, this one over here, which is at 11,826. So let's say 11,800, 850 is a far more stronger one. Now, let me take you down one time frame lower to the 75-minute chart. And over here, we had seen earlier that this erstwhile resistance was giving good support, and it's been completely breached. We will keep it. We will not remove it. On the other hand, I will extend it a little further and keep it like this, because if the market bounces back, then this is where the resistance will kick in, number one. Number two, in terms of the channel support, we see that the index have a little more space downside for a retest of this channel border. The momentum indicators are heading towards the oversold zone. Don't see any sign of divergences yet, so no need to be excited about buying on the dip. We expect that the index will probably drop down further for a possible test of these levels. So Nifty, we can say that it's been a sharp sell-off, and the markets are closing in towards its short-term supports. The bounce back will be interesting to watch. In fact, over here also, I would like to keep another level of this high, because today's opening high was important, after which the strong sell-off came, and the index never looked back. So I'm going to keep these two levels on the short-term charts and see how the Nifty behaves. We should allow the index to drop itself further down short term before it gives us a bounce back. So Nifty traders can look forward to one, hook long trades, and then two, swing short trades. And what we were actually contemplating in our last week's class, that banks are doing opposite. The banks are weak, and if the banks continue to weaken, then it will be time for the Nifty to follow suit, and that's exactly what we see has happened this week. This is the BankNifty weekly chart, and we can clearly see a big sell-off, and this is the one which contributed to the index sell-off also significantly. The weekly charts are within this red channel. The trend is still intact, and it's now approaching supports from this zone. Now this zone in terms of levels is 30,300, 30,500, 600 zone. So it's now coming to important support zones. Fibonacci, if you use tools of Fibonacci, then if you allow me to draw one and let me figure out if there are any form of confluences. So I'll keep it only on the weekly, and so dropping the Fibonacci, I can see some 38.2 coming in close to this, and then further down there are lower levels. So definitely 30,300, 30,500 is the one that one should look at. Now remember one thing, that the Nifty has gone through only 1 week of selling, but what we see here is the BankNifty has gone through significant selling over here. So it's a weak sector. It's the sector which has the highest weightage. So this can lead to further worry going forward. Let's look at the daily charts. It's broken this red rising channel. Now, this is not good news. It's broken anticipated resistances, anticipated supports, and it's now coming close to these supports. So the BankNifty has led the fall. The BankNifty has broken down important channels, and the BankNifty is now at closing in on supports. So if this support holds, which is likely, not this one, this one. Okay, so let's not, why do this? Use the new tools. So if this support holds, then we can expect some amount of bounce back. The bounce back can face a resistance here, but generally we have seen bounce backs are sharp. So it is this red channel where we can face some amount of resistance or supply coming in. That is where the swing traders will start to kick in. If you do swing trades, which we do in our mentorship strategies, you can see over here how the moving averages have started dropping down. So give it a little time, let it come down, and on the bounce back, you can short on a rise. This is clearer, further clearer on a shorter time frame. If you go to 75 minutes, and this resistance played out, this trend line, the index has broken below this, as you can see, has broken below this channel down here. I like this drawing tools, yeah. This has broken down this channel. Breaking down the channel, coming close to a support will definitely lead to a move like this. Should ideally, I wouldn't say definitely, but as per my experiences, generally this is where the index should try to form a short-term base. The short-term base should lead to a short-term bounce back. Look at this red line for some possible resistances, or else this zone as possible resistances, because this zone was earlier a support. So this is how it is panned out for both the indices. Selling finally comes. Bank Nifty, as we discussed last week, was weaker than the Nifty, and the Nifty has followed suit. Bank Nifty is still fairly weak, close to supports, expecting a bounce back tomorrow later half or maybe Monday. Sorry, today is not Thursday. So tomorrow later half or on Friday, and the Nifty can find some support as well. An important stock to keep a watch for the market, because I've noticed this happening multiple times, will be Reliance Industries. Now, any meaningful bounce back in the market has to see some serious participation coming in from that large cap. So do keep a look at the Reliance Industries chart. So medium term to long term, we are still bullish. Short term trend has turned down. Banks continue to be weaker than the Nifty. From a short-term perspective, you can look for contrarian hook trades, especially in Bank Nifty, because it's at supports, also Nifty. And on a bounce back, the moment you see signs of topping out, then short swing trades can start to kick in. Now, as I had promised, from today, we'll be showing you some, the stocks that are relevant for tomorrow's intraday via the gold digger trading strategy that we have. So I have the technical query results over here. I have filtered them because a lot of stocks had come on the long side because the way the markets had fallen, but out of which I have run the scan on the NSE FNO universe. And out of this, few that stands out is one, Tata Steel. Do look at it. Look at the Tata Steel 15-minute charts tomorrow for some sign of bounce back. The other one, which I mentioned some time back, was Reliance Industries. This is also worth keeping a watch. Tomorrow, NCC, I don't like to trade. National Aluminum looks very good, but not the best of stocks to trade. JSW Steel, definitely, yes, it's on its 5th consecutive negative day, and it's an inside bar as well. And GMR Infra looks good, but I know it's very difficult to move ahead and trade this stock in the futures market. I believe it has an extremely 45,000, yes, bigger lot size. So I would go with Adani Power is definitely what. So Adani Power, JSW Steel, Reliance, Tata Steel, Gold Digger, long candidates. Executor is the 15-minute chart. On the 15-minute chart, if you find some bullishness, you know the rules, then you can go ahead with a trade within these 4 expected stocks. All right. So that was our take on the index, and also sharing some trading ideas for tomorrow's intraday trades. Now, like always we do, I'll request mentorship traders to share your doubts and questions. Let's begin.